Let's stay together. Chapter 1, The Reunion. Emily Harper had always believed that life had a funny way of throwing surprises her way. After years of chasing dreams in the bustling city of New York, she found herself back in her small hometown of Maplewood for the summer. Having spent her teenage years longing for a life far removed from the constraints of her small-town existence, she never imagined that returning would bring a wave of nostalgia and unresolved feelings. While wandering through the local park, a familiar voice caught her attention. It was Rachel Collins, her childhood best friend and the girl who had captured Emily's heart long before she ever understood her feelings. Rachel had transformed into a captivating woman with a magnetic smile that made Emily's heart race all over again. "Emily? Is that really you?" Rachel exclaimed, her eyes widening in disbelief. They spent hours catching up under the sprawling oak tree that had been their childhood hideout. They shared stories, laughter, and gentle touches, rekindling the bond that had once felt so effortless. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Rachel took a deep breath, her vulnerability shining through. "I've thought about you so much since you left," she admitted. "I didn't really understand what I felt back then, but I think I do now." Emily's heart raced. "I have too, Rachel. More than I care to admit." Chapter 2, The Confession. As the days turned into weeks, Emily and Rachel found themselves spending every spare moment together, exploring old haunts and sharing their dreams. One evening, as they sat on the beach watching the stars twinkle above, Emily felt the weight of unspoken emotions hanging between them. "Can I tell you something?" Rachel said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Of course," Emily replied, her heart pounding. "I'm scared." "Scared of what this could mean," Rachel confessed, her gaze fixed on the waves. "What if we ruin our friendship?" Emily took Rachel's hand, intertwining their fingers. "I think we can handle it. We've navigated so much together. We can be more than friends, Rachel. Let's be brave together." With shared courage, they leaned in, hesitating just for a moment before their lips met, a soft connection that ignited a fire within both of them. They pulled away, breathless, eyes wide with the shock of taking that leap together. Chapter 3, The Challenges. Their days turned into blissful weeks of stolen kisses and whispered secrets. However, the reality of their small town began to intrude on their perfect bubble. Rumors began to swirl, and Emily faced judgment from people she once considered friends. The fear of rejection hung heavy in the air. One fateful evening, their worst fears came to life. At a downtown bar, a group of high school acquaintances saw them share a tender moment. The laughter turned to hushed whispers, mocking glances directed their way. As Emily felt the weight of their scorn, she grasped Rachel's hand tightly, desperately trying to stay strong. "Maybe this was a mistake," Emily said, tears pooling in her eyes. Rachel took a deep breath, her eyes fierce. "No, it isn't a mistake. I won't let them take this away from us. We have to face it together." Chapter 4, The Decision. With Rachel's encouragement, Emily decided to confront her fears head-on. They began attending pride events in neighboring cities, meeting others who shared their struggle and finding strength in community. Each experience solidified their bond, teaching them that love was worth fighting for. Back in Maplewood, they organized a small gathering with their friends to openly discuss love and acceptance. It wasn't easy, but one by one, people began to understand. They saw the love in Emily and Rachel's eyes, the way they fought for one another, and slowly, the walls of judgment began to crumble. Chapter 5, Let's Stay Together. Months passed, and as summer faded into fall, Emily and Rachel stood at a crossroads. They could either stay in Maplewood, the town that had sparked their love, or chase their dreams in the city again. "We can make a home for ourselves here," Rachel suggested one evening, her face illuminated by the warm glow of their fire pit. "But what about our dreams?" Emily asked, uncertainty clouding her heart. "Emily, home isn't a place. It's wherever we are together. Let's stay together, wherever that may lead us," Rachel replied, her voice unwavering. With tears of joy in her eyes, Emily nodded. Together they made a promise, not just to stay in Maplewood, but to hold on to each other through every hardship, joy, and dream yet to be fulfilled. As they embraced under the stars, the world around them faded. In that moment, they knew that love, no matter where it went, would always draw them back to one another. And thus, in Maplewood, where it all began, love flourished amidst uncertainty, proving that when two people are meant to be together, the journey is always worth it. Chapter 6: New Beginnings. The autumn leaves began to fall, painting Maplewood in vibrant shades of red and gold. Emily and Rachel's decision to stay together not only solidified their relationship but also sparked a newfound sense of purpose in their lives. They decided to open a small cafe that would serve as a safe haven for the LGBTQ+ community, a place where people could share their stories and feel accepted. With relentless determination, the duo poured their time, energy, and heart into the cafe, which they affectionately named the Rainbow Room. They spent countless nights designing the layout, curating a welcoming menu, and decorating the space with art and imagery that celebrated love in all its forms. Opening day arrived, buzzing with excitement. Friends, family, and community members filled the cafe. As Emily stood behind the counter, serving steaming cups of coffee and homemade pastries, she felt the warm glow of acceptance washes over her. She looked across the room to find Rachel mingling with the customers, her laughter infectious and heartwarming. "Can you believe this?" Emily said, her heart swelling with joy as she approached Rachel. "I know. Look at all these amazing people." Rachel replied, her eyes sparkling. "We did this together." As they locked eyes, the world around them faded away. In that moment, they knew that each sip of coffee served, each smile shared, was a testament to their journey, a journey that had led them to create something beautiful together. Chapter 7: Trials and Triumphs. With the cafe thriving, Emily and Rachel faced their own personal battles. Not everyone in Maplewood embraced their love openly, and they often encountered whispers and judgment. One evening, as they closed up for the day, they overheard a couple discussing their relationship in a derogatory manner just outside the cafe. Emily's heart sank. "Why can't people just accept us?" she said, frustration etched on her face. Rachel placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Because they don't understand. But that doesn't diminish our love. We keep moving forward, and in time, they'll see it's just love. Let's not let their ignorance overshadow what we're building here." Inspired by Rachel's strength, Emily decided to hold monthly community discussions at the cafe. They invited speakers, advocates, and local LGBTQ+ icons, creating a platform for education and awareness. Slowly but surely, the conversations began to foster change within their town. As winter approached, Rachel proposed an event to celebrate love, an open mic night. "We can invite anyone to share their story," she suggested, her enthusiasm infectious. With Emily's support, they transformed the cafe into a cozy venue for storytelling. That night, they watched as individuals poured their hearts out, recounting tales of love, heartbreak, courage, and triumph. It was a night of vulnerability and healing, and the community began to see Emily and Rachel as more than just a couple. They were catalysts for change. Chapter 8: The Unexpected Visitor. Just as things were looking promising, a surprise visitor entered their lives, Emily's estranged mother, Linda. Their relationship had been strained for years, especially after Emily came out. Linda's unexpected arrival sent a wave of anxiety through Emily, who feared judgment and abandonment. "Emily, can we talk?" Linda asked, her voice trembling as she entered the cafe one afternoon. Rachel squeezed Emily's hand reassuringly as they faced Linda together. "We don't have to do this alone," Rachel whispered. As they settled into a quiet corner, Emily steeled herself. "What do you want, Mom?" "I came to see you. I've missed you. And I need to understand." Linda's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "I want to know the person you've become, the person you love." The conversation was tense at first. Emily spoke about her love for Rachel, sharing their journey, the challenges, and the beauty of their relationship. Linda listened, her expression softening as Emily's words painted a picture of love that transcended her preconceptions. After what felt like hours, Linda took a deep breath. I may not have understood before, but I see how happy you are. And I want to be a part of your life again, if you'll let me. Emily's heart raced, a mix of hope and uncertainty. It will take time, Mom. But I want that too. Later that day, as they closed the cafe, Rachel pulled Emily into a tight embrace. I'm so proud of you. You stood your ground, and you showed her who you are. Chapter 9, A Love Worth Fighting For. As the winter holidays approached, Maplewood was adorned with twinkling lights and festive decorations. The cafe buzzed with energy, and Emily and Rachel found themselves in a comfortable rhythm. Their love had become a beacon of hope for others in the community, and they began to dream of expanding their outreach, perhaps hosting events beyond the cafe. One evening, as they decorated the cafe for a holiday celebration, Rachel caught Emily's eye. There's something I want to do, she said, taking a deep breath. What is it? Emily asked, curious. I want to get involved in activism more formally. I think we can do more than just the cafe. We could start a support group, maybe even work with surrounding towns. Emily felt a swell of pride for Rachel's determination. That's an incredible idea. We can use the Rainbow Room as a launching pad for that. The idea of a support group sparked a new passion within both of them. They began inviting speakers and organizing workshops, building a network that extended beyond Maplewood. Chapter 10, Love Endures. As spring arrived, the first anniversary of the Rainbow Room approached. The cafe had transformed into a thriving hub of acceptance and community. They decided to host a celebratory event to reflect on their journey and the strides they'd made. On the night of the anniversary, the cafe was filled with friends, family, and supporters. Laughter echoed, and stories were shared, each person adding to the tapestry of love and resilience woven by Emily and Rachel. As they both stood on the makeshift stage, ready to thank everyone for their support, Rachel leaned closer to Emily, whispering, "Can you believe how far we've come?" "No, and I think we're just getting started," Emily replied, a smile stretching across her face. "Emily, there's something else I wanted to do tonight," Rachel said, her voice steady yet filled with anticipation. "Over the last year, I've realized that life without you feels incomplete. I want you to be my partner in all aspects, through every challenge and victory. Will you marry me?" Emily's heart swelled with a mixture of joy and disbelief. "Yes. 1,000 times, yes." They embraced tightly, the cheers and applause of their friends enveloping them. In that moment, all the struggles they had faced faded away. Embracing their love, the cafe glowed with warmth and hope, a testament to their journey. Together, they were building a life defined not only by their love for one another but by the love they had ignited in their community. As the night wore on, they danced under the stars, hands intertwined, sharing glimpses of their future together, a future that they would face side by side, ready to embrace all that life had in store for them. Epilogue, Together Always. Years later, Emily and Rachel stood hand in hand at the same oak tree where their journey had begun. Now a couple engaged in a life's work that sparked hope and change, they often returned to this spot to reflect. As the sun dipped beyond the horizon, Rachel turned to Emily and said, "No matter where life takes us, promise me this, let's always stay together." Emily smiled, her heart full. "Forever, Rachel. I promise." And with that unwavering commitment, they shared a kiss, sealing their love against the backdrop of a vibrant sky, a reminder of all they had endured and all the adventures yet to come. Chapter 11, The Wedding Plans. As spring blossomed into summer, the excitement of planning their wedding filled the air with joy. Emily and Rachel dove into preparations, determined to make their celebration a true reflection of their love and values. They envisioned a ceremony beneath the very oak tree where their journey began, surrounded by close friends and family who had supported them through it all. "Let's make it a celebration of love in all its forms," Rachel suggested as they sat over coffee at the Rainbow Room, brainstorming ideas. We can include vows that reflect our journey and incorporate traditions from the LGBTQ+ community. That sounds perfect, Emily beamed, her heart swelling with happiness. And I want to invite all the couples who have found their love through this space. As they meticulously planned out every detail, they also began to discuss how they wanted to give back to the community that had embraced them. They decided to host a fundraiser at the cafe during their wedding week, supporting local LGBTQ+ organizations. Chapter 12, A Moment of Doubt. Despite the excitement, Emily began to feel the weight of expectations and the pressure of the impending celebration. A few weeks before the wedding, while decorating the cafe for a pride event, she confided in Rachel. Are we doing the right thing? What if we're taking it too far? What if we disappoint everyone? Emily voiced her fears, taking a break from hanging paper lanterns. Rachel paused, stepping down from her ladder and facing Emily. Hey, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. This is a big step for us. But remember, it's our love story we're celebrating. It's not about meeting the expectations of others. Still, sometimes I wonder if I'm enough, Emily admitted, her voice shaky. Rachel took Emily's hands in hers. You are more than enough. You're my partner, my love, my everything. Let's focus on us. We've built something beautiful, let's see this through together. Encouraged by Rachel's words, Emily took a deep breath, allowing love and gratitude to wash over her once more. Together, they overcame that moment of doubt, grounding themselves in the strength of their bond. Chapter 13, The Big Day. As the day of their wedding arrived, the sun shone brightly, enveloping the park in a golden glow. Guests began to gather beneath the grand oak tree, adorned with vibrant flowers and colorful fabric that represented the rainbow. Every detail was a reflection of their journey and their love for one another. As Emily stepped into her dress, she felt a rush of emotions. The gown was flowing with delicate lace, and she cherished how Rachel had helped her choose it, ensuring it reflected Emily's spirit while still being uniquely hers. Rachel, in her tailored suit, couldn't help but admire Emily's beauty as they shared a quiet moment before